Alright, what is going on, guys? This is Dog Meat. I am on Xbox One, and I'm playing some Halo Reach. Basically, I wanted to try and get my thoughts and feelings out as far as, like, the controversy. So, the week is, it's the last week of November, and today is December 1st. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week as far as with Bungie. You'll have to apologize for my aim here. It's been a while since I played like any of the Halo games. So the reason why I'm playing Halo versus like Destiny is because this is the last noble effort that company Bungie has actually done. Since they left like anything to do with like Microsoft,
I'm with you, Six.
And they moved on to do their own thing. They came into alignment with Activision, and I'm gonna try and collect my thoughts here and my feelings, and not try and get like too heated as far as how I feel about everything that's been going on. I'll try not to use many filler words like and stuff, and I realize I do that a lot in my videos. It's just because I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I don't script. I don't have like a legato like gaming capture or anything. I just basically play straight from Twitch. I have a minuscule channel. Maybe if I actually was doing this for more of a career instead of a hobby, then yeah, maybe I might be inclined to do all that stuff, you know. So, but I don't. I wanted to put out a video reviewing like Destiny 2 when it first came out, like my thoughts and feelings, like how I felt. But it was just like anytime I tried to do anything with that game, the servers would mess up. I get like a lot of audio video stutter, and it's frustrating. And in fact, I have audio and video stutters on my like regular like Warframe videos and stuff like that. So here it is, basically my thoughts and feelings as far as like everything that went on. Destiny 2, Destiny as a whole, the whole franchise. So first off, I just want to say, as far as like Destiny 2 goes, I tried to do a review a couple times, tried to do like a valid, like constructive criticism review as far as like how I felt about the game, some of the things I liked, some of the things I disliked. But like I said, I was having issues before, and it's frustrating. It's the whole thing. And by the time I decided to do that, were all these reviews out. There were all of these things that people were saying about the game, and some reviews were good. Some reviews actually were saying like how I felt and putting a lot of the stuff that I disliked about it and some of the things I liked about it. And so at that point I was like, well, you know, like I said in Warframe, in one of my Warframe videos, my Destiny review is basically, it's like being in a relationship and having it abruptly end. You know, like I said, you still have love for the person, but it just it didn't work out, and it's not working out. This Destiny 2 stuff is not working out for me. Part of me is kind of relieved that these guys put a garbage game out, because that means I don't need to waste my time on it. I could play other games. Horizon Zero Dawn has an expansion out that I'd like to play. I'd like to play more of the Assassin's Creed Origins, to check that out. And to be honest, I haven't done any of that because I've been I got addicted and hooked on Warframe. So with that being said,
Father,
I'm sorry.
The last couple days, a lot of content creators have been putting these videos out about the state of Destiny and reviewing the blog posts and talking about this and talking about that. And the thing is you could go to those guys' videos like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's the same argument that we had before with these guys. Bungie they had a roadmap as far as like what was coming down the road, what to expect and everything like that. When Destiny first released, they stopped doing that. I don't know why they stopped doing that. And at this point, like, I really don't care, because I'm tired of making up excuses for this company. I'm tired.
What's your situation? Over?
Colonel, this is no.
I'm tired of trying to, you know,
the Covenant are on Reach.
Stay with a franchise that's dying.
Did you say Covenant?
Or stay with a company
it's
that...
the Winter Contingency.
I have fond memories of the company to when they were independent and they made games like this. They made games like, you know, Halo 2. Halo 2 was phenomenal. Halo 2 was the game that started it all for me. My friends tried to get me into Halo 1, but they always wanted to play PvP. I'm not really that great at PvP, so I didn't really notice it. I didn't really like give it a shot. I had one friend who finally basically had me play through the campaign and stuff, and I enjoyed it, you know. I loved it like so much that I played that campaign like over and over again. And all I could say is that, you know, I'm frustrated. And like I said, I'm trying to stop with all the filler words, but I'm really trying to gather my thoughts, and I'm really trying, like, not to really get too pissed off or like swear too much
relay outpost 50
or
clicks from
any of that.
We're going to introduce ourselves
So,
to whoever took it out, and then Cat's going to get
I know
it
it's
back
kind of
online.
jumping around with this game and everything, but it's been a while since I played it. It for some reason doesn't want to go on to the next level. I'm playing on Xbox One, so it's backwards compatible. So I hope you guys don't mind too much. I just wanted to get some gameplay in and have a video while I'm basically talking about this.
Nada. Can't say what's jamming us.
So when I saw the blog post and I saw it and I
Command will
heard
not
the
be keeping
reviews
us
and
company
read through
this
it,
trip.
yeah, I was just, the only thing I could do is like shake my head, because I sat there and I was just like, you know, what the hell? This is the exact same stuff that we went through with Destiny 1. This is the same old song and dance. It's the same thing. You know, people complained about not having the ability to control like random roles. So what did they do? They introduced Forge or reforging in the House of Wolves.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be honest, like,
Let's stay focused. Watch your sectors.
House of Wolves was like a letdown for me. The whole thing was just, I didn't care for it. I felt that I didn't like the fact that all of a sudden, like, our Guardians are just these, you know, well, even like both expansions, even like the Dark Below and stuff. Our Guardians were all of a sudden like these mute freaking idiots that let the Ghost do all the talking. And the story was told through somebody else's, like, point of view. Somebody that you really didn't give a shit about, because they didn't really, like, explain who they are, what they did, or the importance. They didn't make you have like the feeling that you had for Amanda Keyes or, you know, Gunnery Sergeant Johnson in these franchises. You didn't get to know any of the characters. It's the same thing with like Zavala, Cade. I mean, Cade they give a little bit of a personality to, and I'm sure everybody would be bummed out if like all of a sudden they just killed him off. But Zavala and
Eyes peeled.
Ikora, they're basically the same characters. There's no like backstory to these guys. There's no like real motivation for you to want to play through the campaign.
Negative.
I mean, you have a Ghost that basically sits there and does all the talking for you. That's like one of my biggest gripes about the whole Destiny franchise. Like, I don't know why they went away from that. You got towards the end of this franchise, like Halo 3, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, I almost shed a tear at the end of Halo 3. But fortunately, I'm one of those nerds that likes playing through a game and then staying towards the end of the credits to see if there's anything that's going to be at the end of the credits. So, but I mean, I was bummed at the end of Halo 3 when I thought they killed off Master Chief. But I got really pumped, like, once I found out that, you know, he was still alive and they were just stranded on some ship. Or half of a ship. It's not the same company, guys. I mean, like, all the major YouTubers and everything, they always sit there and they come up with these bullshit arguments for these guys, and they come up with all these reasons like why this, why Destiny 2
Right behind you.
is not great right now, but it will be and everything. But hey, these guys, remember what they did in Halo, remember what they did in this. It's not the same company anymore. That's an invalid argument. You look at like what they've done with Destiny, like in its life cycle, how they got more into the microtransactions, how they got more into these like half-baked like campaigns, how they just made like these campaigns. They're like maybe not even 8 hours long. I don't know like how long they are. I know Rise of Iron wasn't that long. This one 2 wasn't that long. There's a couple that dragged out because it wasn't even like real good like checkpoints or anything like that. But even then, I found myself like my first day playing Destiny, I actually got off the motherfucker. Like I was just like so disappointed and just angry with like how everything was that I didn't play like all the first day. I didn't play continuously for like hours and stuff. Not like I did with Destiny. I remember Destiny, like I selected a hunter, I picked a hunter, I liked the way the hunter played, I liked like the story, I liked the ominous presence of like the stranger, I liked the fact that there's this somewhat unknown like force that's out to get us, like the darkness, that everybody's surrounded by this traveler. What's a traveler? What's that do,
June, you see anything?
And that's the thing, is like that was like kind of the same type of storytelling like these guys had back in the past with the Halo, because there was like some mysteries about Halo, but everything tied together and you found out everything like later on. I mean, sure, like towards the end of like Halo, you still didn't know like exactly who the Forerunners were or what they did and everything. You just knew that they were there before, and they left around like a lot of these relics in a lot of these places and a lot of these worlds and stuff. So, but it left it open. It left it kind of open. It left that mysteries as far as like wanting you to play more if these guys had continued with the franchise. So when you look at the things that these guys have done, and that they're doing, excuse me, does it remind you of anything? I mean, Call of Duty games are perfect examples. Like you go through, you play a half-baked like campaign, and then all of a sudden it's like PvP. It's PvP, it's loot boxes, it's prestige, stuff. It's all of this other garbage. It's stuff that you have to pay for, right? If you want to enjoy the experience. And that's the same thing like with Destiny. If you decide that, hey, you like the baseline game of Destiny and you don't want to pay an additional money, or you can't pay the additional money, you're stuck. Especially like at the end of Destiny's life cycle, you're stuck with the legacy like maps for PvP. If you wanted to play anything that was new or anything like that, that maybe got you to think about buying. I have a few friends that they didn't pay for the expansions. Like they had to pretty much stop at the end of the regular campaign story in Destiny. They didn't get the Dark Below. They didn't get any of that other stuff. I think I had one friend that got the Dark Below, but he didn't go on to get House of Wolves or anything else because he didn't care for the content. But as far as like Destiny, like I said before, the game mechanics have always been solid. They've always been good. You always felt powerful, as far as like in the first Destiny. The second Destiny, you don't feel powerful. You feel like freaking what's her name? Hawthorne can do a better job at fucking wiping out fucking Fallen and Cabal than you can. I mean, you feel like weak as shit. You sit there and you play the Crucible in hopes that you may get a super in that match, depending on how well you do, And that's another thing, like the Crucible can get me. I'm like really so frustrated with that. I enjoyed like the Destiny Crucible. I did. Be it vanilla, be it like when the time of the last word in Thorn. I was always one of these guys. I was like, okay, well, you know, they made the weapon that way, and just let me adapt to it. Let me get used to it. Let me change my playing style so that I can be successful at this. And I was able to do that. Every bullshit fucking Crucible change these guys did, I always adapted my playing style. It may have been a learning curve at first and everything, but you know, hey, I ended up being like successful, at least successful enough to where I could win matches, get positive KDs and all of this, and you know, have a good time, have at least a decent time. Skill-based matchmaking thing, whatever. I got used to it, man. It fucking sucked. I got my ass kicked to me a couple times, and that was like when I really noticed it. But you know, I was like, it is what it is. And I've always been there, like, just kind of for these guys, pulling for them, want them to get their shit together, wanting them to freaking, you know, come back to the company that actually cared, that actually had passion about fucking writing a fucking story and creating a video game, you know? That was like my thing. Is I'm stuck on this fucking rock, man. Sorry about that, guys. But that was like my thing, is I don't want these guys to fucking fail. By no means. I mean, I want the fucking Bungie back that made Halo, but they're gone. And we just need to face that fact. Everybody like tries the argument that I've heard for Destiny 2. Well, vanilla Destiny. You can't fucking do that. They had 3.5 years to get their shit together. So you're gonna sit there and tell me that basically when you compare it to a freaking game that they made 3 fucking years ago, and even at that, the game they made 3 years ago is way better than the game that they have now. The game that they have now is fucking garbage. And I'm sorry to say, whatever these guys have planned and everything, whatever like big announcement they gave us like this week, it's gonna be subpar, man. I mean, it's the same crap that we ran into in Destiny 1. You'll get all the people like 5,000 watts or freaking, you know, M-Tashed or any of these other guys praising these guys up and down and saying it's the best thing. Like, well, you know, we don't have to go too far back. Just look at when Destiny 2 released. Look at when these guys like sat there and they said, oh man, this is such a great game and this and that and everything. And then what happened? They sat there and they grinded through the whole freaking levels like a bunch of nerds, you know, got to maximum light level in fucking 10 hours and everything, and then 2 or 3 weeks later they're like, we don't have enough content. There's no in-game content. There's nothing. There's like, and I've known that through like the whole time with their expansions, because it was the same trend in all their expansions. It was the same thing. Usually, like if I got a Destiny, like I learned my lesson the first few times I blew like right through a freaking expansion. Or, you know, anything that these guys put out. Because I know the shit would get stale, like, after a while. And to be honest, like, I don't have the time to sit there and be invested into, you know, grinding the game hours out on end. I'd love to. Shoot, I'd love to, like, sit there and, like, do this for, like, some type of, make some type of, like, revenue off of this. Whether, be it, like, you know, doing game reviews or doing, like, something else. I was trying to run those guys over. So... you know, but I don't. I do it for a hobby. I have a job. I have things that I do. I have other things that I need to be doing, you know. And it's a thing that we've continued to make as the Destiny community. And I don't know, man. Like, I really, like, had high hopes for this community as well. I mean, I don't really want to get started on that and how it's became and everything, but it's not what it used to be. I remember when I first played Destiny, and I know I'm jumping around here a lot, but you know, I had a lot of passion for like what these guys did. I mean, Destiny came in my life at a time when I needed, you know, I needed an outlet. I needed something. I was having problems, you know, like I was having problems. I had to come to the fact that I'm an alcoholic. And you know, I had to come to grips with that. I had to come with terms with that. When I was getting sober, Destiny was there for me. The community was there for me. There was like so many, you know, of you guys out there that helped me out and was, you know, helped me deal with a lot of stuff that I had going on in my life. And you were helpful, and it wasn't toxic, and it wasn't like, you know, get good scrub or anything like that. It was, you know, people that I still game with to this day, that I consider my friends.
Corporal Travis, sir.
Because when I had
It's the
my
Covenant.
issues with alcohol, I had so many of my friends and everything, and my family just pretty much abandoned me. And it's sad. But that's why I have a lot of passion for Destiny. That's why I wanted things to turn out like good, you know? I want these guys to succeed. I don't want them to sit there and fail. I mean, shit. It's just like the whole thing. It's like what you get. It's like, you know, and I'm not trying to get political or anything here, but it's like the shit that's going on with the political atmosphere. Like, wanting the president of the United States to fail is like wanting a pilot to frickin', you know, fail at being a pilot. And basically going down with, you don't want it, you know? It's not good for anybody. And these guys not being successful with this game is not good for us. There's, you know, content creators, there's people out there who have based their livelihood off of it. I mean, you listen to Mesa Sean, the dude used to fucking sell medical supplies. Now he's sitting there doing Destiny content. And these guys have pretty much screwed his livelihood, you know? And that's the thing, is I try not to get heated as far as like whenever I see Destiny reveals, or I see these guys getting the game early so they can sit there and give their 2 cents on it and everything like that. I try not to get pissed off about it, but I'm just fed up with like the whole thing, because, you know, like I watched, they invited like a few guys out to the Osiris reveal and let them play like the PvP portions and a few of the campaigns and all this other stuff, and it was just like one big grab ass fest. These guys are sitting here, you know, having dinner together, having drinks together, all this other bullshit. When you look at their blog posts, and it's all the same guys they invite over and over and over and over and over again. And the thing is the trend is the same with these guys, whether it's like True Vanguard or freaking, you know, Tef to Tef or any of them other guys. It's all, you know, praises from these guys, like from the get-go, and then all of a sudden, like when things dry up and things don't start going their way, or they don't, you know, get what they want out of the game, then they like sit there and they say, oh well, you know, there's no end game, there's no this, there's no that. That's when the criticisms come. You know, what about guys like, I don't know what the hell happened between, you know, Bungie and Angry Joe, but Angry Joe did his review on Destiny 1, and the dude hasn't been back for a Destiny event like since. It's because they didn't like his criticism. There's a guy that I listened to on YouTube, Dark Side Lore, and the guy has like valid points. He spends most of the time like bashing Bungie and their bullshit decisions, and bashing like Destiny, you know, 2, the game and stuff. But the thing is, like, once you get past all the salt and once you get past all of that, the guy has a valid argument. You know, and that's the thing, is he has the same thoughts and feelings like I have about this fucking, well, not this game, but, you know, Destiny 2. That's what we're talking about. Because, like I said, I'm not a big fan of how Destiny 2 turned out. I'm not giving that game like any airplay or anything. I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, condone mediocrity. And that's what it is. It's mediocrity at best. That's one of the things that's like the biggest problems with society nowadays. Is I don't know when people became so comfortable with accepting subpar standards, you know, or just the bare minimum of things. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, that's the thing. It's like everybody's been heated. These dudes throttled XP. I mean, before they put out this blog post, there's like a whole thing about them throttling XP. They say, oh yeah, we fixed it. Well, guess what? How they fixed it? They doubled the XP that you need to get some of those, you know, cherry ass bright Ingrams, so you can get your freaking, you know, shaders or whatever the fuck that they sell and everything. It's just, it's fucking bullshit. Does that remind you of any game franchise? I could tell you of one right now that these guys are partnered with. That sound like anything that Call of Duty does? Sit there and like, that's the whole thing. Is what did they put out before that? They put out the Clarion Call, I believe that's what they called it. The Clarion Call, where basically you're gonna go through and, you know, be able to get your last set of Eververse before the season 1 is done. I mean, what the fuck is up with these seasons? I mean, what is that shit? Like, really? I mean, to me, that's just like an excuse for throwing out a half-baked game and then basically keeping you at bay and letting you know, like, hey, we're gonna have other stuff. It's coming down the road. It's all in the plan. These dudes did not plan this game out. I don't know what the fuck they were doing for like the last like freaking, you know, couple years where they did not want to fucking do anything new to the original Destiny because they were so hard at working on Destiny 2. And I apologize that I'm ranting on
We need
this.
to find the control room. From there, Cat can
But-
get the relay back online.
I'm gonna be
O'Neill,
honest,
post
guys.
here. If we flush any hostiles,
This is my
they're yours.
this is my thoughts and feelings.
All right.
I'm gonna try and leave like as much as the salt out of it and everything like that.
Six,
But
turn on your night
these
vision.
we've seen all of this before. We saw this in
Control
Destiny
room.
1. We saw this,
Go easy.
you know, before they dropped anything on the House of Wolves and stuff. That these guys weren't communicating. We didn't have the roadmap. We didn't know what was going on. And what did they tell us? Well, we're going to communicate more with you guys. We realized this. We realized that. We learned our lesson. They didn't learn their lesson. They didn't learn their lesson this time. You may get something that's going to be subpar, and it will
Where's the
keep
rest
you
of you?
probably busy for like a
got
little
split.
while. But after
think they-
a while, it's not going to
It
last.
sounded bad on the comms.
All right,
And
Corporal.
like I
Stay
said,
put.
to sit
get
there and
you
make the
combat
comparison to vanilla Destiny to Destiny 2, that's
Plasma
just
damage.
making up more excuses
Found
for these
something.
guys.
I'll
To sit
take
there
that, Six.
and
Not your domain.
want this company
I've got a
to
live
be
one
the
over here.
company that made this game, Halo Reach, you know, you're in for a big disappointment.
It's all right. We're not
I mean,
gonna
shoot,
hurt
look
you.
at what they got. Look at what
George,
they
I got
did.
that.
Look at what they did to Marty O'Donnell.
Keep still.
That guy was
I'll
like
release
the
you.
biggest part of Bungie for like the longest time. And they managed to like not only like have the guy like leave the company, but then they tried taking like his royalties for some of the rights that he has, you know, to Destiny. He had to go through like a big court battle with Bungie to get, you know, what he deserved, what he earned. And that was like another thing, man. Is like everybody in all the reviews, they sat there and they said that the music for Destiny 2 was phenomenal. And it is phenomenal. You know why it's phenomenal? Because the guy who collaborated on the original Halo theme and soundtrack for the first Halo game did the music for Destiny 2. All I could say, guys, is, you know, these blog posts or not blog posts, take my word for it or don't take my word for it. This is not the same company, and they're not going to be the same company. And the thing is until we actually start hitting them where it hurts, because obviously the player base leaving is not enough for them, that they're still able to optimistically, you know, still throw this subpar trash out there and freaking sit there and not take notice or not take like the whole community seriously. It's obviously not doing its trick, and the reason why is you're always going to have those fanboys. You're always going to have those people that their livelihood is being Bungie's friend, and that's what they are. You even heard it before, like, you know, most of those streamers that go over there, oh, we're all friends. You know, I'll talk to these guys. I'll set them straight. Like hell you will, man. And like I said before, I posted in the forums, if these guys, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, you know, and expecting different results. The results are going to be the same. You're going to invite the same fucking people to your reveals or to review a beta or to do any testing. You're going to get the same fucking feedback. So the problem's never going to get fixed.
Flush them out. I've got you covered.
I don't know, guys. Like I said, I was hopeful for the community and stuff, but since these guys have made it more like Call of Duty, we've been seeing a lot of the, you know, toxicity that you see in the Call of Duty communities. All I could say to you guys, you know, that you guys who are true guardians and that really loved Destiny and you know, had such a passion about it. You want to feel that passion again. You want to feel that sense of community, that sense of belonging. Then do yourself a favor, man. Download freaking Warframe and start playing Warframe. You want to see some devs that actually give a shit about their community, that not only look at you as a consumer but also look at you as an investor. That's the game right there. That's the company right there. Digital Extremes, Warframe. I'll be honest, like I said, I love it. That game is everything that Destiny, you know, should have been from the get-go. So, anyways, I apologize for the rant. I apologize for, you know, the mixed commentary and thoughts and everything, but like I said, I was trying to get my thoughts together. And I hope this video turns out. I did a first video on it. Hopefully the gameplay isn't, like, overwhelming. And, anyways, I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and complete this mission, but like I said, this was the last noble effort by Bungie. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, rip Bungie. So, anyways.
How long?
Until next time.
Question of my life. If the question is, when will the station be back online? 2 weeks, earliest. This is plasma damage. All major uplink